Hi everybody, it's Keith Hockton here, International Living's Malaysia Correspondent, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update with regards to what's happening here in Malaysia since the lockdown was officially lifted. So last week I went for a drive through town, through Georgetown, and it was actually like going back in time. It's quite amazing, and I think this is the one of the shocking and surprising things in a both good and a bad way. Since this whole crisis began. So I drove through town and there was literally, on a Sunday, and there was literally no one around. And usually this is a town that you would drive through and you would see tourists everywhere, walking, taking pictures, hanging around the historic monuments, going to the various cafes, doing all the things that you usually do, when you're a tourist in a town. And there was no one. Like one of my most favorite streets in Penang is called Armenian Street, and it's called Armenian Street because it's where all the Armenian merchants, 150 years ago, that's where they all lived and where they all had their warehouses and their townhouses. So they named it Armenian Street, and before that, it was actually called Malay Street, and there was a little Malay kampong there. So it's a really nice little cutesy street, very, very beautiful street to walk around. But during the non-COVID times, on a Sunday especially, you could hardly get any room on that street whatsoever to either drive down or walk down. It was always full of international tourists from everywhere. So it was really kind of weird going into Georgetown and seeing all the cafes that had disappeared, that had sprung up in the last 5 or 6 years. All the little shops that had sprung up during that time as well, all gone. And what was really sad about the whole thing was that there were rental signs on all of these places. So clearly, businesses that will have gone out of businesses that will be there no more, even with the cafes. And it was actually like going, I first arrived here in 2010. And it was like going back to 2010, because back then there was nothing. I remember with some local friends, some local Chinese friends, we used to sit at one cafe in Stewart Lane, and that's basically where we hung out the entire time. And at night time it was fantastic, because you'd sit there with this amazing kind of atmosphere, of a city that went back, to 1786. And there would be no one around. It was quite fantastic. It was quite magical, actually. And this is like that now. Georgetown still has the amazing magic to it that I experienced when I first arrived. And I think throughout the years, as these cafes and restaurants and all these kind of places started springing up, it lost some of that magic, but it gave you more of a choice. So in a way it was good because you had more choice and more selection, but it was bad because you lost the magic of the quiet colonial town that made me move here in the first place. And that was what I experienced last week. So it was quite an interesting experience. And the only thing that we haven't seen open up are the hairdressing salons and barbershops and things like that. But everything else is open. So what I have to say is that I think that's pretty much the way that this virus has left Georgetown. It's taken it back almost 10 years. And as I said, there's a magic to that and a sadness to that at the same time. So it's quite an interesting thing to experience. Traffic-wise, everything is still down. There's very few people that are actually, even now that we've been open 2 weeks, there's very few people that are actually going out and eating in restaurants and cafes. Actually, we went out for the first time last night, which in 3 months. First time last night in 3 months we went out. And it was to a cafe, and of course there's only 4 people allowed to a table, and there's only a certain amount of people that are allowed in the restaurant itself. So that was actually really nice being able to do that, to get back out. The beach below me is completely empty still, which is fascinating, because I thought with the lifting of all the restrictions that people would be flooding back to outdoor spaces. But a little bit like me, I've also grown accustomed to not going out. And although I still catch up with friends on Zoom and WhatsApp and all of the above, I'm not that keen to rush back out in there to the outside world. Maybe there was just too much of it before. I don't know. Maybe not. but I'll show you guys what I mean. I'm just going to take you off the stand so you guys can get a look at what's going on down there. So I'm going to show you again this amazing view because I just need you guys to see it. So that's the beach that's right in front of me, and you can see it's absolutely empty. You know, it's amazing, astounding, really. And I was down there. I went down there earlier on, just so you guys can actually see the view. So that's the view from my office. You guys can see that. So I was down there earlier on, kind of walking around. There's birds and everything flying around, which is kind of cool. There's a big storm out there, guys. I don't know whether you can see that. But we're just coming into the lighter monsoon series, time of the year. So we get these most amazing rainstorms once a day. And usually when those rainstorms kind of kick in, like it's fantastic being here, you know, because we get these rainstorms that kick in and you can just sit here and literally, you know, just watch this amazing cacophony of lightning and thunder and everything taking place. It's actually really cool. Which is one of the reasons why I love living here. It's fantastic. And just as a quick recap, because I'm going to do a live video for you guys, I think the next week or the week after, and I'll talk about the visa system here and how all of that's going. And it's actually going really well. And I'll also talk about different places that you can, if you're thinking about Malaysia, that you can come and visit and stay at. So I'll talk to you all about that either next week or the week after. I've lost my train of thought. I don't know. It'll come back to me. But you know, one thing I was thinking just then, I was looking at my crazy hair. It's like I haven't had a haircut in 3 months, and I've been cutting it myself. But I got this note from my barber yesterday. So they're obviously about to come back into business, or maybe he's coming. You know, he's coming. He comes to your home these days. And actually said, you know, if you need a haircut, he said, I'm kind of glad to, you know, I'll be happy to oblige. And I actually kind of sat there wondering about that too. It's funny, you know, when you're not used to stuff happening for so long, even in you know, an amazing place like Penang, yeah, you kind of get to a stage where you go, I don't know. I don't know whether I really miss any of that kind of stuff. And you know, the worrying thing is, I don't know whether I'll go back to being that guy that wanted to be out, you know, at restaurants and cafes, and I don't know. I mean, it's a really surreal place to be. So anyway, that's hi and hello from Penang. I just wanted to catch up with you guys and see how you all are. Remember, keep the dream alive. And I say that with all sincerity, but seriously, keep that dream alive. And if you're thinking about coming to Malaysia, drop me an email. My email address is keithhockton@gmail.com. So Keith Hockton, just my name, keithhockton@gmail.com. And I'll answer your emails as quickly as I possibly can. Yeah, I know it's going to sound corny, isn't it? But you guys should also be living this dream when all of this stuff kind of goes away. So don't give up on that, guys. Okay, nice chatting to you all, and I'll look forward to receiving your emails, or if you want to join me live, I think it might be this Wednesday. Please join me live, and I'll chat to you then. Okay, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.